Well, hello everyone. I'm doing a video today. I've had several people ask me what all I carry in my day hiking backpack. So I thought I'd do a video to just let everybody know, what I carry in mine. And I've got it all laid out here in the guest room on the bed. But this is stuff I carry with me on every day hike. And most of the time I don't use any of it. Use very few items, but it's always in there just in case something was to happen. I'm going to talk about my Daypack first. I use a Teton Sports Oasis 22. As you can see, it's a little dirty, but I've been using this one for a long time now. This is a very good backpack that doesn't break the bank. Teton Sports makes pretty good stuff, and they stand behind it. I mean, if you ever have an issue with anything they have, you just contact them, and they'll usually send you another one straight out. So they're a real good company to deal with, and like I said, their stuff is made well and doesn't break the bank. I think I gave right around $50 for this pack. It's got plenty of pockets and hooks and so forth, and it is a water bladder bag. It comes with a water bladder, but I hardly ever use the water bladder unless I'm just going on a very long hike that I know there's not going to be many water sources on, and then I'll put the bladder in there, but I usually don't carry it. But this is a good pack to consider that won't break the bank. Like I said, that's a Teton Sports Oasis 22. And now in the description of this video, I will put down there a link to my Amazon storefront where you'll be able to find any of this stuff if you're interested in purchasing any of it. And anything you purchase through my link, it doesn't cost you anything, but I will get a little bit of a commission from any of it, and all that money goes to help out the channel to allow me to keep bringing you all content. But anyway, let's start on down the list. Like I said, the first thing was the pack. All right, the next thing I carry is a Garmin InReach Mini. Most of the trails I hike on, they do not have cell phone service, so this is real handy to have because it's direct satellite link, and you can even if you don't have cell service, you can get out to people, send messages, let them know where you're at. You can share tracking information, and they can actually get online and they can track you and see your progress on your hike. It has a built-in SOS feature where if something was to happen, if you were to be out on the trail, get injured, whatever, fall, get hurt, you can open this little door, hit the SOS button, and it will automatically inform emergency personnel, and it gives them your location, exactly where you are, where they will be able to reach you. And it's just an extra peace of mind to have out on the trail. Like I said, most of the trails I go on, I don't have cell service, so this comes in handy if you need to get out. The service runs like $11 and so many cents a month, so it's fairly inexpensive to have one of these. But that's just a extra safety net to have out on the trail. All right, the next thing that I always carry with me is my life straw bottle. This thing is really handy because if you need, water out on a trail, you can fill this thing up from any water source, creek, stream, mud hole if you had to, whatever. And that straw in there, it filters all the bad stuff out, so you can drink that water and it won't hurt you. So that's real handy to have. I always clip that right on the front of my backpack on the strap where I can just open the top up and drink out of it as I'm hiking along. Of course, I usually carry a couple of liters of bottled water with me, but it's always nice to have this. This is a rain poncho that I always have in my pack just in case I get caught out in a thunderstorm or a downpour. I like a poncho because you can just, throw it over and it sort of covers you and your backpack. They're, big, and it will cover you and your backpack, keep it from getting wet. This is a emergency shelter survival tent that I carry in there. It's got a good name, Don't Die in the Woods, and that's what we're trying to not do, is die in the woods. But anyway, this is just a emergency shelter if you had to get, if you got caught out and something happened, Lord forbid, if you was to get lost and couldn't get out, you'd have a shelter there to throw up, if you get out on a trail and end up being out there later than what you think after dark or whatever, and you just want to throw up a shelter. This is a good little emergency shelter just to throw up to have something, to shield yourself from the elements. I always have an emergency thermal blanket in my backpack. Again, if you were to get stranded out, especially in cold weather or whatever, these things are really inexpensive and they will save your life. I mean, they hold in heat. You throw that over yourself, it's going to reflect your body heat back to you. So, these can be a lifesaver for, they're, like I said, they're very inexpensive. I always carry some paracord in my backpack. Usually not this much. I usually roll me off like 100 feet on something else and stick it in there. Because you never know when you might need some cordage. I mean, if you were to get out and, hurt your leg or something, you could, if you had worst case scenario, you could make yourself a splint, using some sticks and paracord. So it's always good to have a little bit of cordage. This is a Sawyer Squeeze water filter. This is another way you can fill this bag up right here with water out of a creek, whatever. Screw that Sawyer Squeeze on there and squeeze the water out, and it's safe to drink. I keep it in a Ziploc bag. Now I'm getting into some of the electronics I carry with me. This is a headlamp. And, all this stuff that I don't want to get wet, I put it inside a Ziploc bag and then put it in my backpack. But I always carry a headlamp with extra batteries just in case your hike ends up being, longer than you think. You get caught out later and it gets dark on you. You can put that headlight on and have a light to get out of the woods. I carry a battery bank with me. This is a small battery bank with a cord to where if my phone or any other device, the Garmin or whatever, gets low on charge, I can plug it up and charge it with this. I always carry that with me. This is a fire starting kit that I always have in my pack in case I need to build a fire for some reason. I'll keep a lighter plus a flint striker in there, and I have these little zip fire starters in there that you just light the pack, and it's a good way to have, to get a fire started. So I keep that in the Ziploc bag, keep it all nice and dry. Don't rely on just a lighter. Make sure you got some other means besides a lighter, because if something happens, that lighter gets wet, or if that little button gets mashed, it'll let all the fluid out of there, and then it's not going to work. So make sure you have at least 2 different ways to start a fire. Of course, keep a roll of toilet paper in there, because we all know when we might need that, and it's in a Ziploc bag. This is my long-handled Toke spoon. Sometimes I carry those meals in the bag that you open up, and this long handled spoon comes in real handy for spooning that stuff out of those deep bags to be able to eat it. I carry a multi-tool in my pack because you never know when you might need to repair something, and this comes in really handy. I carry an empty smart water bottle in there, and I can actually put the Sawyer squeeze onto it and have a larger container for water. So I always carry an empty smart water bottle with me. This is my cat hole shovel in a little pack here. And if y'all don't know what a cat hole is, I'll let y'all Google it. I'm not going to go into detail on that. But that's what's in there, is a cat hole shovel. I have my first aid kit. I always carry a first aid kit with me. It's got all your basic stuff in there. Band-aids, antibacterial ointment, alcohol wipes, as well as scissors, tweezers, a tick tool. I keep a tick tool in here for removing ticks. It's got pain relievers, Advil, whatever. It's all in there. I always make sure I have a first aid kit with me. And then I have some antibacterial wet wipes. These are good to have, before you eat. You can take one of them out and wipe your hands off, so it'll be a little more sanitary. It's just real handy to have a sanitary wipe. And then, of course, I always carry, food and snacks. I'm real big on these meal bars and trail mix, protein bars, and some candy to give you energy out on the trail. And I also always carry electrolyte replacements to put in my water, such as Propel, and this is Drip Drop. I really like Drip Drop, but those will help you keep from getting dehydrated while you're out on the trail. So I always carry some kind of electrolyte replenishment in my pack, along with my food and snacks. But that is everything that I carry in my day hiking pack. And like I said, if you're interested in any of this stuff that I have, there'll be a link in the description for my Amazon storefront that you can click on to purchase any of it that you might be interested in purchasing. But that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. I just wanted to share, since I'd had so many people asking, I just wanted to share what I carry in my day packing backpack. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.